Good morning, students. As you know, we have been analyzing the detailed summary of Act 2nd. Right now, today, this is the second part of this summary of Act 2nd of this play, A Doll's House, written by Henrik Ibsen. We have seen that Nora is extremely in anger position as well as in a tormented mind. She is full of anxiety. She is worried about the secret that she has, about the loan that she has taken to save her husband's life. But as we know that Krogstad has threatened her to disclose the secret, as well as he also threatened that Nora has done forgery regarding the signature of her father, because her father in the bond is a surety, is a guarantor. But we know that her father died before she signed on the bond. So that was a kind of forgery. Second, that Krogstad wanted to take help from Nora. He wants that Nora should recommend about his matter, about his suspension that Torvald Helmer, is going to do. Helmer is going to expel Krogstad from the bank. So Krogstad wanted that Nora should save him. Otherwise, he would disclose the matter. This is what we have seen. So then we also saw in our previous lecture that how Nora is furiated about her fancy dress that was torn, not good, not proper for wearing. But somehow Mrs. Linde helps her in mending that dress. And at that time, Helmer enters into the room and he asks Nora about the other woman who was there. And we know that the other woman was Mrs. Linde. So Helmer asked whether she was the dressmaker in the other room. Nora says no, she is not the dressmaker, but she is Christine, Mrs. Linde, and was helping her to mend the dress. She also tells Helmer that she would look quite smarter in that dress when she wears in the ball, in the party. Helmer also asks Nora if this idea of wearing this dress is not a good one. So Helmer again jealously and contemptuously asks Nora that this dress is not the good one. But Nora says that it's a really splendid idea to wear this dress. So it's okay if he also wants this dress to wear, that she should wear. So it's nice. what to do as he wishes. So here Nora is doing everything in order to please her husband. She doesn't want to go against the wishes of her husband. Helmer says now that she has done nothing extraordinary in complying with his wish. So again, Helmer uninterestingly and scolding way in a wrong way, we can say, not in a pleasant way, uh, taunts upon Nora. Okay, it's not an extraordinary work that she is going to do, that she is complying his orders, but it is the duty. It is the duty of a wife to follow the orders of a husband. So see, these are the thoughts, these are the perceptions of Helmer as a husband. This is the patriarch system in which man overpowers. Man thinks that he is supreme over the woman. And that's why he says that it's the duty of the wife to follow the wishes of her husband. Then we see that Nora is appealing to Helmer not to dismiss Krog estates. So now the matter again arises in their discussion. And Nora again requests Helmer that please don't dismiss Krog estate from the bank. And Helmer now is trying to go into his study, carrying some papers, and we can imagine, we can think that these papers might be of the dismissal of Krogstad. So Nora asks him that he should grant her one more request, that is, that please don't dismiss Krogstad. She tries to do every trick to please Helmer so that he would grant her request. But Helmer says no. He speaks plainly. He says to Nora that if her request is granted, see the consequences. What will be the image and reputation of his in the bank? Because it has already been decided and everyone knows it. It is to everyone that Krog stake is to be dismissed very soon. So, if the employees, if the people in the bank come to know that Helmer has come into the influence of his wife and therefore cancelled the dismissal of Krogstad, this would bring the bad reputation, bad image upon him. And these consequences will reverse, will be worse. Whereas Nora says that if he doesn't grant her request and if he dismisses Krogstad, then he should also know that Krogstad will not keep quiet and he will he will disturb their peaceful life. He will also harm Helmer as well as their children because he is of that kind of man. So he must allow Krogstad to continue at his post in the bank. But Helmer says that he is going to give that post to Mrs. Linde. So Helmer says that he is going to dismiss Krogstad and in place of Krogstad, he is going to give that post to Mrs. Linde. And Nora has also recommended for Mrs. Linde to give her job in his bank. So Helmer says that I am accepting your one request, but I would not be able to accept your second request. But Nora says that he must also keep Krogstad and dismiss some other clerk. So then Helmer's refusal to grant Nora's request, he says that this insistence of Nora is just like incredible obstinacy, and he says that her thoughtless promise that she has made to Krogstad does not mean that her husband should alter his decision. He won't. But Nora says that please do that for his own sake, because of Nora's sake, for the sake of the children. But because she knows very well that Krogstad might harm through malicious propaganda. He is the propagandist. But Helmer also reminds Nora about her father's case. Here again, Helmer reminds or tries to taunt and try to displease and Nora, reminding her about her father, that she is fearing because of her father's example. Helmer says that there is big difference between his case and her father's case. Her father's reputation was as a government servant had not been absolutely untainted. He had been very impeachable, and therefore his reputation is different from her father. So he will not lose his reputation by giving any protection to a man like Krogstad. सो अगेन देर इज डिस्कशन नोरा और हेल्मर के बीच में, फिर रिगार्डिंग क्रॉगस्टेड डिस्कशन चलता रहता है. नोरा रिक्वेस्ट करती है कि ऐसा नहीं हो, लेकिन जैसा मैंने आपको कहा कि हेल्मर ये कहता है कि अगर वो अपना डिसीजन चेंज करेगा तो जो बैंक में जो लोग हैं वो सब उसके बारे में गलत इंप्रेशन लेंगे. हेल्मर दूसरा और कारण बताता है, और वो कारण ये है कि जो इंटीमेसी बिटवीन Krogstad एंड हेल्मर. In fact, Krogstad and Helmer both have been the friend since the childhood, and they are very familiar to each other. But Krogstad behaves very familiarly, or just like a friend in the bank before the others also. And this hurts to Helmer. Krogstad उसे मित्र के रूप में और ऐसे इनफॉर्मल बिहेवियर करता है उससे बैंक के अंदर, उससे भी हेल्मर जो है कि नाराज है, इसलिए वो उसको डिसमिस करना चाहता है. और इस तरह से हेल्मर जो उसके डिसमिसल का जो लेटर है वो अपनी मेड सर्वेंट के थ्रू उसके पास भिजवा देता है. अब जो इसकी कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज हैं Krogstad की डिसमिसल की, तो हेल्मर उसको मिस ऑब्स्टिनेट कहता है और नोरा जो है कि उस लेटर के बारे में जानना चाहती है. हेल्मर कहता है कि दिस इज अबाउट द ऑर्डर ऑफ Krogstad's dismissal. Nora again appeals to withdraw it for her sake, for his own sake, and for children's sake. But Nora also threatens him to face the consequences. But Helmer says that he doesn't bother. हेल्मर कहता है कि उसे इससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. He has that manliness and he can face all the consequences. And she should not show her anxiety over this matter. हेल्मर कहता है कि तुम्हें चिंता करने की बिल्कुल ज़रूरत नहीं है, तुम्हें इस पर बिल्कुल जो है कि कमज़ोर होने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, और वो उसमें इतनी ताकत है कि वो जो भी कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज आएगी उनका सामना कर लेगा. लेकिन नोरा कहती है कि इसके कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज बहुत गलत होंगे, क्योंकि हम जानते हैं, नोरा जानती है कि नोरा ने किस तरह से अपने हस्बैंड से छुप करके लोन लिया है और किस तरह से उसने फॉर्जरी के साइन किए हैं. तो लीगली भी वो जो है कि गलत है, और मॉरली भी, क्योंकि उसने जो डिसीजन लिया, हालांकि हम ये भी जानते हैं कि उसने अपने पति की रक्षा के लिए डिसीजन लिया, लेकिन ऐसा माना जाता है ये पेट्रायर की सोसाइटी में दैट ए वुमन कैन नॉट टेक डिसीजन विदाउट द परमिशन ऑफ हर हस्बैंड. She cannot go against her husband. She should take every consent from her husband. So that's why she fears that when Helmer would come to know about her secret, he would be angry, and maybe that they can break their relations. So this was the fear that was in mind of Nora, for which she was trembling. But Elmer, we know that he's behaving like a man. He's behaving like a manhood, and he says, "No, you need not to worry." And he has the courage to face all kind of consequences that would come after the dismissal of Krogstad, because he cannot keep him. He cannot keep him. He cannot keep a man who is so corrupt and who is so immoral and informal and bad in the sense. So he says that both of them will face the results and she should not worry at all. And in this way, he tells her to go and practice the tarantella, that is the kind of a dance, in order to enjoy in the party. And he goes then to his library, to his study. In this way, अप टू नाउ वी हैव सीन कि किस प्रकार से नोरा और हेल्मर के बीच में क्रोग स्टेट को लेकर के डिस्कशन होता है. हेल्मर क्रोग स्टेट को डिसमिस करना चाह रहा है और कर भी दिया है, जबकि नोरा नहीं चाहती कि उसको डिसमिस करे, क्योंकि उससे नोरा का जो राज है वो खुल जाएगा और इस तरह से नोरा और उसके परिवार पे एक तरह से पहाड़ सा टूट पड़ेगा. So dear friends, this is what from me for today, and I hope that you will following me. You will also following. You have been also following the story of this play, and as well as you will be enjoying this one. In our next video, we will meet with the further story of this play. Till then, thank you very much. Bye bye. See you.